Hi guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to use column function in your Google Sheets. As you can see on my screen, I have student names and with their scores in respective subjects. So what is the basic use of column function? So it calls out the um, column from the cell reference, like where you are selecting the column. So I'm going to select, let's say, let's type column, and then if I'm selecting any cell reference in that particular cell, it will gives me the column number. So I'm going to select cell reference from C column. If I close the formula, it will say that this is from third column. So obviously it is from third column, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. Now if I apply the same formula, for here, so it will say 4 because the cell reference is selected from the column D, which is fourth column. Now again, if I paste the same formula here in the E column, it will give me the result as 5 because any cell reference in the E column will be reflected as 5. So this is a basic syntax of the column formula. But if you use this column formula with other functions, it will be very useful. Now we are going to see how to use column function along with the VLOOKUP. So in this example, we are using VLOOKUP and column function. Now we have the student names and then we have the scores here, subjects, and the scores are empty. Now I'm going to get all the scores from this dump to this blank table. Now let's write down the formula VLOOKUP, and then I'm going to select the search reference, and then I'm going to select all the table, and then I'm going to select the column which I want to call. Now I'm going to calling this second column, which is maths column. So I'm going to enter, you can select anything from any cell reference from B. So I'm going to select B, so because it will call this data, which is second column in the table. Now I'm going to enter comma and then 0. I'm going to write down the column and then select the cell reference from B. So it will give me 2 because it will select 2 from the table. Now comma 0. If you hit enter, so it will directly auto suggest. Let's assume it is not suggesting the details, so you have only this formula. Now if you drag this formula here like towards right side, it will definitely give you an error because I'll tell you why. Because the cell references are changing, these are not absolute. So here it is B. Now if I go to the next cell reference, which is here, it is going to C, and then it is also changing here. So let me fix this. So I'm going to select all these ranges and then fix them with F4 from your keyboard, and also I'm going to fix only the row number, so that a column number, so that row number can keep on changing. Now if I drag the formula, so you can see the earlier formula was giving incorrect detail. The actual score was 78, but it is giving me as 92. Now if I drag the formula here, as you can see, it is correctly giving me the detail. So what I did is I applied absolute to column B, and then I locked the range, and then I applied column here, so that it will be giving me the 2. But when you go to this, you can see column has changed to C. That means it will be calling out the range from the third column. Now if I go to here, it will be calling out, because the column is now D, it will be calling out the fourth one. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if you go here, it will be calling the fifth column from your table. So now if you go here, like it is reflecting as 5. Okay, so this is how you can use column function in your Google Sheets. Now the first row is done here, but if you want to apply the same formula, if you want to write one more time also we can do it. So let's write one more time so that we can understand a little bit. So what we're doing here, applying VLOOKUP and then selecting the range and making column as absolute, because we only want from this column which is B column, but row number should be changed. When I drag, so it should go for it should go to the next person, which is Ravi, Sneha, Kiran, Meena. So if I drag, so this should go for 103423536337. So that is the reason I applied B as absolute. When you drag this formula towards your right side, so it may change to B as C, then D, then E. So that is the reason I made this lock to the column. Now comma, I'm going to select the range, okay, and apply F4 so that it will be locked. Now I'm going to select column, because so which column you want to extract from the table, obviously from second column. So I'm going to select cell reference as B, any cell reference from B column, because that gives me the result as 2, 0. Hit enter. So now you can see I have added B as absolute and then the table as absolute. Now if you hit enter, it gives you the detail. Now if you select all the cells and apply Control R, the formula will be applied. As you can see, the details are correct, 80, 68. Now if you do the same, like for below rows, you don't need to type every time, just drag formula by using Control D and your formula will be dragged. So this is how you can use column function using VLOOKUP function. So you don't need to go and select each and every time. If you write only VLOOKUP function, you have to change from here like 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. But by using this method, you just need to drag the formula. All the functions will be called by the VLOOKUP. Thank you so much for watching. We'll meet in next video.